Hola! What's going on? So today is another Throwback Thursday. We have a really good segment for you. Interesting lady, fashion icon, top model, really, really good. And I know you're going to like her. So let's get into it. But after this, Warwe Yansomoza, a friend of mine, challenged me to do some fashion things. So let's get into it. Let's have fun. Okay, enjoy.
All right, we're talking with
Katiti Kirande.
Aditi Kilana. There's a lot that has been said about you. What are you most famous for?
Well, I think I'm most famous for my fabulous grandchildren and my children, but to the world, I was the first black woman to be on the cover of a fashion magazine in the whole wide world, on Glamour magazine in 1968. And that cover was chosen as one of the 20th century's most important covers. Even, and John Lennon's was behind mine, John and Yoko of the Beatles.
And so, what year was this?
1968.
1968. And walk us through the process of you being chosen to grace the cover of this magazine.
Well, I'd done some modeling before. My dad was ambassador to the UN, and we met a lady who was the editor-in-chief of Mademoiselle, which is the sister magazine to Glamour. Mademoiselle has gone out of business. And they asked me if I would model for Mademoiselle. And so when this contest came up, there was a contest called the Best Dressed Girls of College Girls. And I participated because I was alerted, and I was chosen as one of them. I was the only black one. There was actually a very light-skinned black woman as well. And they sort of decided that they wanted me to be on the cover. And I was very, very sort of honored because this was a very big thing in 1968.
Were you 18 by then?
Oh yes, I was 18 years old.
Wonderful. And then you being Ugandan.
Yes.
How did the African American community feel about you being an African and gracing cover magazine?
You know what? This is a very good question because there were some very negative sort of comments made about, well, she'd have to be the daughter of an ambassador and she has to come from Africa. What about us? But overall, no Glamour magazine to this day has sold as many copies as that one did. So I'm proud to say that all the black people who probably had never bought Glamour before jumped ahead and bought it despite that. I mean, you always have a few people who are bitter and sour, but most people were really happy for me. And happy to have a black woman who represented their idea of beauty on the magazine cover.
So since you, there hasn't been another African or the Ugandan who has achieved such a height?
No, I don't think there's been Iman, of course.
Yes.
And there was, I think, a young woman from Uganda who was a model. I don't know if she made it onto the cover of a major magazine, but I know that Iman has even surpassed me.
Yeah. And you also have Alec Weck. But
I don't think she's been on the cover.
Yeah.
But Alec is fabulous. I love her look.
Yeah. And so, as per the status of Ugandan fashion today, or the crop of models from Uganda, what say you, in terms of who is there that can actually step up to the plate and be somebody that's worthy of putting on, in the magazines?
I have to tell you that I've never seen so many beautiful women as I see when I go to Kampala.
Yeah.
Uganda has the most beautiful women, the women from the west, the women from the south, the women from the north. They're all really beautiful. And I think that if the Ugandan women develop a modeling sort of business and culture, they will be able to compete with anybody anywhere in the world. But we don't really have that development there where they're being developed for the larger stage. But I just think that they could stand up against any model anywhere.
Okay. So maybe would you be the one to step to Uganda and show them the way?
I've thought about this because right now I'm a fashion designer. Obviously I don't model anymore, and so I became a designer of women's clothing. And I'd like to see those things sort of develop in Uganda and really grow.
Okay. Any tips to the young women of Uganda in terms of lifestyle that would sort of help them maintain a look that would be bankable?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Keep it simple. Don't overdress. You don't need to, and don't starve yourself. But absolutely don't overdress, and don't be a trend, slave. if you really want to be noticed, try and develop your own style and don't become a trend slave.
So Ugandan women have what it takes to be on the international stage?
Oh, absolutely. They've got incredible bone structure. No matter where you go in Uganda, there's always some incredibly beautiful woman.
And how would you say they could get from there to here? Because a lot of them think, okay, I don't have a visa, I don't have a ticket.
Well, I think that's by being discovered, you know. I mean, if they really, you know, and that's something that I would like to think about, how I could help to facilitate and make that process happen. It's something I've been thinking about, and I haven't quite figured out how to go about it. Whether I scout them but there's a lot that goes into it. Then you have to sort of develop them, and, you know, get them so that their hair is right and their makeup is right and their clothes and their presentation. That is very important.
So in wrapping up, I noticed you use your English and you speak very eloquently. One would wonder, do you speak in vernacular Uganda?
Yeah.
Give a shout out for homies at home in your mother tongue.
Kale bananga ba Uganda mwena mbagamba hello.
That's good enough.
Thank you.
Thank you. And for the record, your name is?
Katiti Kironde. I'm the daughter of Apollo Kironde, the great-granddaughter of Sir Apollo Kagwa.
That's a wonderful lineage.
I think that everybody's lineage is great, as long as it's their lineage.
You are right. You're right. Thank you for the interview.
Thank you.
Zinafanya watu kutengana mama. Oh, mwana mama. Oh, mwana mama. Sherie usilie mwana mama. Najua wanipenda Nimaru yoyo. Sikupenda kukuacha uteseke nyumbani peke. Shida na tabu zinafanya watu kutengana mama. Oh, mwana mama. Safari nilionayo ni ndefu sana. Sijui mwaka gani nitarudi yoyo. Hata mimi sina raha kuwa mbali na wewe, lakini ni hali ya dunia, ni vigumu kuepuka. Oh, mwana mama. Mwana mama. Safari nilionayo ni ndefu sana. Sijui mwaka gani nitarudi yoyo. Hata mimi sina raha kuwa mbali na wewe, lakini ni hali ya dunia, ni vigumu kuepuka. Oh, mwana mama. Mwana mama. Nimaru mama. Nimaru mama. Nimaru bibi. Usilie mama, ninarudi tisadi. Nitarudi bibie, nikuone mama, tufurahi na wewe. Nifurahi na wewe. mimi sina